I'm sure you've heard the news about the transatlantic slave trade. It's a term that often comes up in discussions about history, but the depth of its horrors is something that many people might not fully grasp. But the true horrors go deeper than you might think. The sheer scale and brutality of this trade are almost unimaginable, and its impact is still felt today. Let's uncover the grim details. The transatlantic slave trade wasn't just a series of isolated events. It was a systematic and widespread atrocity that spanned centuries. The transatlantic slave trade, spanning from the 16th to the 19th century, was one of the darkest chapters in human history. It involved the forced migration of millions of Africans to the Americas. Over 12 million Africans were forcibly taken from their homes, their lives forever altered. These individuals were captured through violent raids and wars, often by fellow Africans who were coerced or incentivized by European traders. The journey across the Atlantic, known as the Middle Passage, was nothing short of a nightmare. This leg of the journey was marked by extreme overcrowding, unsanitary conditions, and rampant disease. Packed tightly into ships with barely enough room to move, countless perished before even reaching the shores of the Americas. The mortality rate was staggering, with estimates suggesting that up to 20% of the captives died during the voyage. Upon arrival, these men, women, and children were sold at auctions, treated as mere property. They were inspected like livestock, their worth determined by their physical condition and potential for labor. Families were torn apart, and lives were reduced to a brutal cycle of hard labor and suffering. The emotional and psychological toll was immense, as individuals were stripped of their identities and humanity. These enslaved individuals contributed significantly to the economies of the Americas, particularly in the production of sugar, cotton, and tobacco. Their labor was the backbone of the agricultural economy, driving the wealth of plantation owners. Yet their stories are often overshadowed by the wealth and growth they unwillingly helped create. The prosperity of the New World was built on their backs, a fact that is often glossed over in historical narratives. The echoes of this atrocity still resonate today, shaping societies and sparking movements for justice and equality. The legacy of the transatlantic slave trade is evident in the systemic racism and inequality that persist in many parts of the world. As we remember this dark period, it's crucial to honor the resilience and strength of those who endured such unimaginable pain. Their resistance, both passive and active, laid the groundwork for future generations to fight for their rights. Their stories remind us of the enduring human spirit and the importance of fighting against oppression in all its forms. The struggle for freedom and equality is a continuous journey, inspired by the courage of those who came before us. So the next time you think of history, remember the voices that were silenced and the lives that were shattered. Their experiences are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a reminder of the importance of justice. They deserve to be heard. Their stories must be told, not just as a cautionary tale, but as a call to action for a more just and equitable world.